Good evening and welcome to Certified Unscripted. And no, I am not Vera Jones, but I am executive producer Rita Hayward. And I just want to welcome you all to our show tonight. Unfortunately, Vera is feeling a little bit under the weather. So we're going to send out some special love and some prayers out to her. And hopefully, y'all will bear with me because, last time I hosted, it was kind of funny. We kind of laughed it off a little bit, but hopefully I'll do a better job tonight. So I have some beautiful people to add to help me get through this little nervous moment for me. So I will start by bringing in the one and only Miss Ruthie Bolton.
What's up? I got flex. I'm at the gym flexing.
Flex it, girl.
Hey, I got flex up on it. Hey, baby, it's all good. We certified unscripted, so we stay ready, so we don't have to get ready.
Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. How was your holiday weekend?
I ain't realized this holiday weekend, girl. I listen, grinding it out as I usually do, trying to be mighty. So no, it was good. I'm in Atlanta now. I went to Georgia. No, I went to Florida. So I've been busy, but I've been good, been productive.
Okay. All right, sounds like a plan. So, as I was telling everyone, Vera's under the weather, so the job of host falls on my shoulders. This will be my second time attempting to host, so definitely bear with me.
You
the
got it. You
last
got
time,
it.
the last time I forgot to turn the live stream on, so
But we on
this
now,
time
baby.
I
We
think
on
I,
the
I
track.
think we're on right now. But we still welcome you. We have a very special guest in the house tonight, and actually, she informed me that she has maybe only a half an hour to really spend with us as far as us getting to her questions and us just telling everyone a little bit about her. So I'm going to bring her in, and she is the one and only Carla McGee.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
What's up, Carla? How are you, hon?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? How about
Oh
yourself?
man, it's wonderful to have you on the show. A lot of times we are called certified unscripted because a lot of times things just happen and we just have to go with the flow. So we are definitely happy to have you here with us this evening, especially with everything that's going on, with you and all that you're doing and Ruthie and just everything that's going on. So we just want to take a little time and answer some questions that some of our fans have for you. But first, tell us what you've been doing. What's been going on with you?
Well, actually, Ruthie and myself, this is a really exciting time for us. We head to New York tomorrow. Our Olympic story is going to be told with Dream On. It's going to premiere. We're going to the premiere. I think it airs next week, what, the 15th or the 16th, Ruthie?
I think I heard the 15th also.
Right. So, but we're gonna go. We're gonna be on Good Morning America on the 9th with Robin Roberts. Then we'll do the
Okay.
premiere that evening, and then my nephew is graduating from 8th grade in New Jersey, so I'll be hanging out with my family for graduation. Then I head back. But I've actually just my company, More to Hoops. I do basketball training and some mentoring. Been doing that, and then since October, I'm in cohort 3 with the Nike program, Win program, where they
Okay,
have
yeah.
Nike and the W have partnered together to bring
Mhm.
former athletes into corporate America. So, and then being a mom, that's like 24/7. So
Oh,
that's
that's
pretty much
always
what I've been up to. Yeah.
okay. Okay. I definitely was surprised to hear that you were going. So you're going out to Beaver, Oregon, and you're actually moving out there, or will you be working from
Well,
the Atlanta base?
I'm remote right now, and I don't know how long that's going to be because I'm actually on the Converse side. So Nike owns, Jordan Brand, Converse, and then of course Nike. So I'm over Converse. So if I relocate, I'll relocate to Boston.
Okay, good. Well, our best wishes to you. I know we had some fans that are asking about you, so let me see if I can pull some stuff up.
Okay.
I'm working this out, so bear with me.
You're doing a great job.
I'm
Give
doing a
yourself
great
some
job.
grace.
All right,
Yes, give yourself
I'm
some
sweating
grace.
up here. You see the sweat popping off me. But anyway, let's see. Carla, We have a question from Keisha. Keisha is wondering, how did you get into playing basketball?
So Keisha, thanks for the question. Oh wow.
Or
I
rather,
just
she's asking who actually got you involved in the game.
um I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. It's so long ago. But
It's been that long.
but tell Keisha, what I will tell you is this. I was the tallest thing walking in the hallway in the eighth grade, and the coach was like, "Hey, I need you to go out, come out for basketball." And I was like, "I don't know if I'm any good." And he's like, "If you can make a layup, get a rebound, you'll be good." And that's basically, in all honesty, how I started. Like I was the tallest thing walking the hallways, so they asked me to play, so I played. Don't worry about it.
You said that was how it happened, huh? Just
Yeah,
that
that's
quick.
it. Yeah, it's not like how people like, oh well, my dad or my uncle. Like no, like literally, I didn't start playing to the eighth grade.
Okay.
And it was because, like on picture day, how they had the tall people. I was always in the back with the boys. And
Right.
so I was like, well, now this height could come in advantage for, I could take advantage of it.
Hmm.
It could serve a purpose. So basically, and it was on and popping since then. It was just like, I'm not saying I was really good when I first went out, but I had a God talent, ability that I didn't even know I had. And I had some coaches that poured into me from the community center, high school, and then I went to camps, and the rest is history.
Absolutely. Well, many people don't know your story. I'm sorry I didn't actually give you a official resume reading before putting you on the show, because I kind of know you were in a little hurry in terms of your time. But tell them about your career at Tennessee. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about it. As far as her career starting at Tennessee and playing for the Lady Vols, a star player under Pat Head Summit. And then in between that time, you had a little situation that kind of set you back completely in regard to basketball. Tell the fans a little bit about what happened with that.
Well, first of all, let me start off by telling the fans that by the time I got to my sophomore year in high school, I was really good, but I was really cocky and I had a really bad attitude and I was really lazy. Okay.
Okay.
That's a lot of things you don't want to be trying to be a great athlete. Okay. So we're gonna start there because I don't want to paint pictures like I was always just no. I had a lot of work. Pat Head Summit and a lot of other coaches. I was recruited by every state. Like so that makes your head get even bigger. So I had a big head going into
Yeah.
college. And so even though I was an All-American or whatever, I still had a lot of work to do and I just didn't know I had to do it. So I start off with saying this. I get to University of Tennessee. I didn't do
Mhm.
the workouts that was required. I just showed up. Pat said we're gonna do a fun 5 mile run, and then I did the race car. And I was like, black people don't do distance. Okay, so that didn't work with her. So to speed this thing up, I found out the hard way. If you weren't going to be a team player, Tennessee probably wasn't the place for you. And so I started my career on the bench because that was the best teacher for me was the bench because I loved to play. So once I finally learned that it wasn't just about me and I learned to be a good teammate, then I started to have a really good career at Tennessee and we went on to win a national championship. That summer, I played for USA Basketball, won a gold medal, came back a new person, ready, did my summer workout, had a good attitude. And it was 3 days before we were supposed to take the gym, take the court, the floor. I was in a 5-car accident. And in this accident, I broke every bone in my face. This lovely deep voice I have, I didn't always have it. I have a hole in my voice box. I was in a coma for 47 hours. I
Wow.
broke my hip. I was told that I would never walk again. And if I did walk again, I would have a limp. So running, jumping was probably pretty much out of the picture. And I
Hmm.
just remember this. This is going to sound so crazy. Two
Okay.
things I remember about the car accident.
Hmm.
One, waking up, someone was rubbing my hand and it's like, do you know who I am? And I'm sitting there looking at this chick like, why don't you know who you are? Right. But it was my mom who had been rubbing my hand for hours wanted me to do, like, you know, she was trying to talk to me. You know, I guess they say if you talk to the person in a coma, it helps or whatever. And so
Right.
that was one. And then the second thing was Pat coming to my room and her saying, I don't care if you ever play basketball again, but you will get your degree.
Right.
And for a woman that everybody know that knew Pat had something, they're like, she didn't play about basketball. There wasn't no free rides at Tennessee. You were gonna
Right.
pull your weight. So for her to
Exactly.
say that to me, it meant a lot to me. And then the last thing I would say about the car accident is, you know how you make those promises to God, like, God, if you get me out, I promise. I did a lot of lying to God. God, know I did a lot of lying to him. But
Right.
this is one promise I kept to him. I said, if you allow me to walk and run and play the game again, I will be a better person. I will be a better teammate. I will work
Right.
harder. And from that day forward, that's what has been my barometer. That's what I like. I check my temperature
Right.
by, am I doing the best I can? Am I being a good person? Am I being a good friend? Am I being a good teammate? Because that was the one promise that I made to God that I've always kept. And he know
Right.
I don't broke some
Yeah.
promises with him, but I kept that one. So I say this to anybody that's out there listening to me, like, yeah, I went through an accident where no one thought I would come back. But
Right.
the point of that is I believe in God, and he had a purpose for my life. Like there was no
Amen.
way, if you saw the car, like there was no way I was supposed to walk away from that.
Right.
Like there's just
Right.
no way. There was no way I was supposed to speak again. There was no way I'm supposed to run again because my parents didn't want me to get a rod in my hip.
Right.
So I basically let it just heal on its own. And like everybody's hip is like this. Well, mine is like this to this day. So
Wow.
there's really no way I'm supposed to do all the stuff I'm supposed to do, but it is because he has the final say. And so I always tell people, like, there's a reason for me. You
Mhm.
might not know it, I might not know it, but there is a reason. So
I
that
know.
you
I
know
Absolutely.
it.
I want to interject. You know, say call it that. What you've gone through, God has entrusted you with more time, and the verse in Luke to talk about Luke 12:48, to whom much is given, much is required. And to me that's the testament. And I didn't really I knew, and I that was the first time I heard it articulated like you said it then. So God has a purpose for your life, and it's bigger than basketball. You know, as much as we did in the Olympics, what your purpose and what he wants you there for, like Pat said, it's way bigger than basketball. But yeah, your story is definitely compelling. It's inspiring, and it should, it should really be something that for anybody that's struggling with, can I ever get back there? So that also is the power of when God comes in, and also the power of the mind. To me, you were willing, and you were
Mhm.
determined, and to me that was a common denominator. Is your faith. So anyway, proud of you, Big Red, and
Well,
glad you my
thank
teammate.
you.
Glad you my teammate.
Oh
Well,
my.
it's very similar to what happened with Diamond DeShields in her current situation. Like she went through a terrible time in terms of her situation, and no one really knew anything about it. It's something that I think you just deal with when it comes to people that are close to you. But
Mhm.
I think for this generation, she would be our Carla McGee in relationship to, her making a complete recovery from the same thing, not from an accident per se in that way, but from a tumor, not being able to walk or being able to really even express herself or speak. So, have you had a chance to actually speak with her or meet her or have a
I know.
conversation?
Actually, I know Diamond is kind of like my niece. Her
Oh,
mom and
okay.
I went to Tennessee together. Her mom was an amazing track runner.
Okay.
So I knew her before she knew herself, basically. And we talk often. I didn't know that the depth of what was going on, but I knew something was going on because I speak with Tish every
Right.
now and then. So yeah, like I just know, like I've always known that kid was special. Like when she was like 5 and 6, she would be out there with boys killing them, football, baseball,
Right.
basketball, and she's so smart. Like a lot of people don't know that Diamond is so smart. She has an IQ for sports that's just phenomenal. But other than that, like she is a really good person that's often misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I just like I said, I didn't know the depth of her situation, but I knew
Right.
some stuff was going on. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thankful. Like I'm
Yes.
so thankful that she, like myself, we have a purpose that's bigger than
Yes.
basketball. It's going to surpass a lot of things we do in life, and hopefully, it's going to help somebody else understand that you can do it.
And it's life is precious. It really, really is.
Yeah,
And I know she comes from a very athletic family. I believe her father, was he a
he,
baseball player or
he was
something like
baseball.
that?
Yep, Delina was
Baseball.
baseball.
Right. So it's in her DNA.
Right.
Absolutely. It definitely is. Mr. Let's see, who is this? Mr. Hoopballer Scoop wants to know what made you pick Tennessee and what other schools did you think about going to?
This gonna be real funny. Okay, first of all, my criteria when I was getting recruited was like, I want to win a national championship. I want to be an Olympian. I want to be an All-American, right? And so at the time, there was Tennessee, USC, Texas, Georgia. Um, Coach Stringer got in there because she was a strong black woman. Like Coach Stringer, she could charm the socks off anybody. So, but anyway, that went, and then I didn't want to be in cold weather because I'm from Illinois. I was like, I'm done with the cold weather. Cold weather, I got to get away.
Right.
So, this is a true story. I took 4 of my visits. Back in the day, you had your early where you can go take
Right.
visits, like like early like season, and then you can do the in the spring, right?
Right.
And so I took my 4 visits, and I told everybody I was coming. Every time I left, I said, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. So, like, I just couldn't tell everybody no. So, my last visit was Tennessee, and it was in the spring. Weather was beautiful. Q's had a party. The football team, like, it was like I was really a party person, right? And I was like, okay, this could be nice. And so, the thing was, I didn't get to see Tennessee practice because it was in the springtime. So they weren't practice. So it was just all like showing me the academics, fun parties and all that stuff. The other people I got to see them practice, and I was like, I ain't going there. They work too hard. Like Texas, Jody Conrad, I was like, I'm definitely not going there. But I told them I was coming back. And then, like some of the other places, I was like, oh, I'm not like I'm telling you, I was lazy, right? I didn't want to work, so I was like, okay. Tennessee, Pat had just been the Olympic coach maybe a couple years prior. I know she had some good people. And then Tanya Edwards and I and Deja Charles, we had gone to a BC All-Star camp, and we said we were going to go to school together. That was
Right.
one of the reasons. And so it got down to the last moment. So Tanya and I was like, we're going to do it. So we went. I went because I was thinking they weren't going to work that hard. Man, I got there. I said, I've been tricked, bamboozled. I was like, I went to the hardest working place there. I was like,
Yeah, you
I
did.
definitely.
Yeah, Tennessee
like,
was always known for just being a hard worker. You had to work hard to be there.
right, but see, I didn't know that because on my trip it wasn't that. So it's so funny
I
because
was
I tell
trying to
people
get a
that.
trip.
Yeah, so yeah, but I mean, I'm so glad I did it because I don't think anyone else would have put up with the shenanigans and the foolishness of my freshman year. Like I got kicked out of practice 6 times.
Okay.
And like to be
Really?
honest,
That's a lot.
it's a lot, right? And to
Right.
be honest, 2 out of the 6, I was glad because I was tired of working. That's how bad I was, right? Like, but the
Right.
thing was, I'll never forget. Pat was like, "You want me to kick you out? You want me to send you back, but I'm not."
Right.
Right. And I was like, what's wrong with this chick? I'm doing everything like trying to. And she was just like, you're getting in your own way and I'm not going to allow it. So it's just like, it was like the best decision and the craziest in the same way. I can honestly say, I learned how to be accountable. I learned to be responsible. I just learned how to work because the thing about Pat was she's like, if you trust and believe me, you do the work. Every year we're gonna be in the Final Four. Every year we were in the Final Four.
Right.
We were either winning it or a game away from winning it. And when you get a person that can back up what they say, you'll be an idiot not to buy into it. And that's kind of how I looked into it. I was just like, everything I said I want, she gonna help me get it. So I
Right.
might as well just, I ain't gonna say it happened overnight, but it clicked. It clicked.
Right. Right.
And
You
and
had to
it's
put
just
forth
something.
the effort. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I tell people, I'm like, I run people, some parents say, oh, well, this, I say, oh no, you ain't met nobody. Like, people don't understand why I can relate to certain kids that people give up on, because I was that kid. I was walking around with a chip on my shoulder. I'm like, a lot of people know, I'm adopted, so I always didn't feel loved enough. Basketball came around and it was my savior. It was my safe place. Like I was,
Right.
excuse my French, I was a shit with basketball. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So like
Right.
when you get on that level, now you have something that gives you value.
Thank you.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So for me, I I had to have it. It was almost like an addiction. Like I had to have whatever great things came with basketball, because it helped with my self-esteem. It helped for me feeling like, was I not good enough for somebody to keep me, or like all kind of things. So like basketball, it's just been everything for me.
Right.
It helped me get a degree. Once I got my degree, it helped me, maintain a lifestyle. It helped me help other people.
Right.
And when you get all that from a piece of leather, a round piece of leather, like I feel like I hit the lottery with basketball. Like
Absolutely.
it saved my life.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of the lottery, we have a question from Netta Johnson. She wants to know, how was it playing with Bridget Gordon and Tanya Edwards? Bridget was all that glitters is gold. So she was definitely a player at that time that made an impact. She's currently coaching. Tanya
Mhm.
Edwards is coaching. But how was it? She wants to know, how was it actually playing with them?
Like, Bridget actually elevated your game. She was like so good. And Bridget wasn't necessarily nice. Like, Bridget was like, I ain't got to be your friend, but you're going to work. You ain't going to have me running suicide because you don't want to work.
Right.
And you ain't going to have me missing out on a championship because you don't want to work. And it was like, once I understood that, then she became like a big sister to me, right? And
Right.
like Bridget was all the good go. But the one thing people don't know about, Bridget worked hard. Like
Mhm.
Bridget didn't, like, we got into practice, we went at it,
Mhm.
and like, so I said, like, she helped set the tone of what it was to be a winner.
Right.
She wasn't always nice about it, but she set the tone, and she would always have our back. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
Bridget was probably one of the first people to help me understand what it meant to be a teammate,
Okay.
and you have your teammates back. And then I was just in awe with her, because she made things look effortless. Like Bridget was the only person I know could have a wide open layup and still would do 5 fakes, head fakes.
I know she was. You
I was
right.
like, B, you open, go. She's like, I was
That was her.
like,
Yes, she did. Hey, we were scared of Bridget though in college.
yeah, yeah. But I'm
Y'all
just
was
telling you,
scared of her?
She was
she
mean.
had she's a beast. Had an aura about herself. She'd walk in the gym like, yo, I'm here. And then like Tanya Edwards on the other side. Tanya was so smooth. Like
Yeah.
her nickname is
Ice.
Ice, right?
Ice.
Because
Yep.
and it was so crazy because we came in together, right? And
Mhm.
at Tennessee, we had to say rebound or 2 points. Rebound when you messed up, you got to rebound. You do something good, 2 points, because Pat wanted us to communicate, right?
Right.
So you got me over here talking about rebound, rebound, rebound. You got Tanya with 2 points, 2 points. And so we were so opposite, because I was all hyper and all over the place, and Tanya was laid back. I'd be 15 minutes early for class. Tanya would be just strolling in right before the professor got there. And so,
Right.
but the thing about her was, she made the game, it's like it stopped. It wasn't a big pace or a fast pace. Everything was just easy for her. So yeah, I'm sorry. Like I'm one of the, and he still want to do it, but that's okay. I'm at the gym,
Yeah.
so I apologize.
All right,
But
no
yeah,
problem, no problem.
but
But
yeah, so it's like, I mean, like I, I feel like I play with basketball royalty. Like,
absolutely.
I
At
mean,
Tennessee, everybody. Oh my gosh.
and that's the thing people don't understand. It's like you come in there like, yeah, you're all American, but you're looking at 11 other all Americans. So you got to figure out real quick how you gonna stay on the
Absolutely.
court. And like for
Absolutely.
me, I figured it out: defense and rebounding. That was the
Hmm.
thing I knew was gonna be on the court. And it's like, even to this day, I think back on all the great things that we did, but now I look at all the great things like Tanya is pouring into, the sky. Bridget is pouring
Right.
into these young ladies, and D1,
Yeah.
and I don't even know if all of the people that are around them know how great of players they were, because they're very humble. They're not going to toot their
Right.
own horn.
Right. And
Um,
a lot of young ladies now just don't know the history of people that are even standing in the same room with them. So You know, that's a part of our doing our show, wanting to make sure that we bring people back like you, like Bridget, like Tanya, you know, to be able to say these are some great players you're missing out on, or that you need to know about, you know. I have a
Right.
question here from Janelle Jackson. He wants to know, what female ballers did you watch coming up, or who inspired you to be the great basketball player that you became?
Um, Actually, I used to love watching Cheryl Miller, and then my cousins Pam and Paula.
Oh, okay.
Um, like they were beasts, y'all. Basketball was different. Like they dominated. And Pam would be as pretty as ever. She have on her lipstick, her mascara, and go out there and ball out. You know, Cheryl Miller. I always say it's Miller time. Like Cheryl,
Yeah,
I think that's the one chick that could have played in the NBA and did very well. Like, I mean, she was amazing. But I watched them too. But the person who inspired me the most, and it's so crazy because I just remember being little, was Dr. J. Like, I love Dr. J.
right,
Julius Irvin. I loved him. And when I got an opportunity to meet him and be around him, it was crazy because he's just so laid back and such a great person. So um, those are the people that to me that I looked at, like I got excited whenever I had an opportunity to see them play.
right.
Um, Try to articulate some moves. Sometimes it didn't always go off as good as what they did. But I just said if I could be a fourth of a person and a player as them, then I knew something good would happen.
Right. Okay. Sounds excellent. We have a lot of educated folk who do their research. They know what you've done in the past, who you worked with, who you've played with. And Miss Southern Bell from Carolina wants to know, how was it working with Dawn Staley at South Carolina?
Oh my God. So people don't know, like my nickname is Red and Dawn's nickname is Little Bit. And so what people don't realize is we basically grew up together in basketball. Dawn was the first one that gave us our like the heartbreak when Virginia beat us in double overtime and they went to the Final Four, which we were hosting in Tennessee. We had shirts that said Final Three in Tennessee, right? Not Final Four. And from that point on, which is crazy because she gave my heartbreak, we bonded because we played USA basketball every summer from that summer.
Right.
So you got to remember, we're young. You know, we're like 19, 20, 21 when our friendship formed, and we've been friends ever since. We've been teammates for so many USA teams. So we've been through many wars. We've had some high and lows. We've both been there when we lost our parents. We were there for breakups, you know, a birth of my son. So like Dawn is like my sister. So working with Dawn, it was challenging because Dawn is a perfectionist. And
Right.
Dawn, but the thing I love about Lil Bit is she's not going to ask you to do anything that she's not going to do. Um,
Exactly.
and the thing is, I always told her when I worked with her at Temple before we got to South Carolina, I said, if you ever get on an even playing field, like the
Mhm.
rest of these coaches, you're gonna kill them. You
Right.
ever get the resources, you know, the gym, you're gonna
Mhm.
be able to recruit. We're gonna kill them. And I never forget our first year at South Carolina, we went and got Kelsey Bone out of Texas, and people thought we were crazy. But hey, who had a staff like us? It was Dawn, Nikki, myself, and Boyd. There's three Olympians on that staff,
That's
and there
crazy.
are three women of color
Yes.
who were determined to change the landscape of South Carolina because they were always at the bottom of the SEC,
Yep.
and it's almost like they had just was like, okay, we're okay with this. So we was like, no, we have to change that way of thinking. We're winners over here, and it all started with Dawn. You know, a little bit. She was just like, it's not gonna be easy, but we're gonna get it done. And I look back now, and I'm just so proud of her.
Oh,
So to
absolutely.
answer the question was like, I learned, even though we have been friends for many years, we've worked together in other situations. I learned a lot from her because I watched how she navigated the waters of South Carolina. I mean, when we came there, they had a Confederate flag on the Capitol.
Ooh.
You know, when we came there, everybody wasn't happy with a kid that's coming from Philly. You
Right.
know,
Absolutely.
and I just learned so much how she was able to navigate and just win people over and still be authentic to herself, still be
Absolutely.
transparent to her goal. So and never wavered and never just never gave up. I mean, she kept the same thing, like, we're going to change this. We're going to turn this program around. We are going to be winners. And now she has two national championships under her belt. So, like,
Absolutely.
I always tell her, I said, girl, everything you touch turns to gold. You
There
don't want
you
a
go.
gold as a player, a gold medal as a
I know.
coach. And now
Amen.
you
Yeah,
got two national championships, and kids love her. They love her. And the thing about it is, she going to be in your face, but she going to love you in the same space. So I
right.
just like, it's been amazing to have had the opportunity to work with her. So I hope that
Absolutely.
answers the
So
question.
speaking of gold, Tay Tay Anderson wants to know, how was it, being a gold medal Olympian, and how did it come about in terms of you actually being on the team? Was it a tryout? We have the story coming out, what, in about a week on the 15th.
Yeah, yeah,
She'll be able
yep.
to see a lot of that, but right now she just wants to ask the question herself personally.
Well, like, I was on, I think like four or five other USA teams prior to the Olympics. It used to be you're in a cycle. You do Pan American, you do World Championship, you do Goodwill, and then it's Olympic. Well, when it came time for us to go through that cycle, we had lost in the World Championship. So the league, Nike, and USA Basketball decided they were going to try something a little different, where we were going to get together for a
Wow.
year. But there was a tryout, and I
Mhm.
did not think I was going to make it because a couple sessions I looked really bad. Um, but they
Hey,
did
no,
knock on
maybe
my
three
door.
times.
Yeah, right, right. So they did knock on my door and say, you're on the team. It was not easy. There were a lot of days where every other day somebody else was saying they're going home. Like, but we came together as a unit. We said we're not gonna let anybody quit. We in this together. And it was hard, but it was worthwhile. We got to travel the world. But the thing that for me, the most thing is I gained 11 sisters for life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like and the thing is, even with your family, you might not always see eye to eye. You might not always be on speaking, but you're gonna always be there for each other. And
Yeah.
that was a wonderful thing about that team. And I think it was like, how did it feel to be an Olympian? It felt the world. It was the world because we got a chance to win the gold medal in our country, in front of our people, to bring that back. And what's so crazy is I don't think anybody knew when we were doing it what was going to be the implications of how it was going to change the landscape of women's basketball. We were
Hmm.
just excited to be in commercials. We were just excited to be on sitcoms. We were excited to get shoes after us, but we didn't understand that
Agree.
we were catalysts.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking still of the Olympic team, we've had Teresa Edwards on here, and she's talked about a number of things having to do with the Olympic team. But Tina Boo, one of our regulars, wants to know, how good was she during the 96 Olympics?
How good was Teresa Edwards?
Yeah, she wants, I mean, you see the questions right on the board.
Yeah.
She wants to know, do you feel she's over? She feels she's overlooked, but we
Oh,
know her,
I
but
mean,
I don't know.
I think she's overlooked for history of basketball. Like there should be, like, how
Yeah.
people are always talking about, like, Michael Jordan, or they're gonna always talk about Kobe, rightfully so. Teresa Edwards is one of those people that should be talked about, but because she did not play either in the league or for a long time, there was no social media when she played. There was no a lot of games on TV when she played. So people overseas got to see the greatness of Teresa Edwards,
Uh-huh.
or people in the ABL. That's the whole problem, is that she did not get to play when social media was so relevant, or with these great TV packages. And
Right.
but she deserves everything she's gotten and more,
Absolutely.
because she is a beast.
She
She was a
is.
four-time Olympian, Ruthie, or five-time, right?
Five.
Five.
Five
Five.
time, right? And at the time, that was unheard of. But now Sue and Tarasi doing it like it ain't nothing. But people
Right.
think it's hard to
It's
be an
hard.
Olympian.
It
It's
is.
hard. And so I wouldn't get caught up in you seeing people doing it like 4 and 5, 6 times. It's hard. So, like, she deserves everything she gets. I love her to death. She was a coach to us on that team. She was
Mm.
like a big
Great
sister to us on
leader.
the team.
Great
She was a
leader.
great leader, and she led by example. There were days that she got chewed out, and it was no secret. People didn't want her on that team, but she didn't let that change the way she went about taking care of business and representing the USA.
Right,
Oh
right.
yeah.
So when it comes down to the young lady right next to you, how was it playing against Ruthie or having her as a teammate? And what was your impression the first time you ever heard or even saw her in terms of
Well,
how she
I'm
played?
gonna I'm gonna answer this, and then I gotta go because my client just came in the building. So, but anyway, Ruthie is phenomenal. I knew Ruthie from college.
Mm-hmm.
Ruthie was this.
SEC.
Ruthie was this kid from Mississippi that got on everybody's nerve in the SEC because she could shoot the ball from the parking lot. Okay, and she didn't have a conscience. So I mean, like I just knew like every time I looked in the calendar and we had to play Auburn, I was like, oh crap, Pat gonna come in here being all in a bad mood because anytime there was a chance that somebody could beat us, we would have hell week with practice, right? So it was just like Ruthie was that one, her and CJ on that Auburn team that I just was like, oh my God, I hope they have a bad night shooting. Like I didn't really want to hope that on anybody, but I did. But and then when I had the opportunity to play with her, I was like, oh, it's on now. We
Oh
we
yeah.
we got the silent assassin on our team.
That's
I was like
you,
Tara said she wouldn't lead the country without Ruthie. Oh, I
Right.
was so honored to have her as a teammate because no one worked harder. No one had the soul. Like Ruthie, she could talk to anybody, talk to a rock, but her soul and her spirit is what got me through a lot of things because Ruthie had the tenacity and like, we will not be defeated. We didn't come this far. We're gonna be all right. And so when you have that in your ear, like you just feel like you do anything. And then I even had the pleasure. Ruthie and I played overseas together,
that's
and I'll
right.
never forget. We were going out. I said, Ruthie, put some red lipstick on. And Ruthie told me, you know, got me in trouble. Don't introduce me to this red lipstick. But like, Ruthie is just like she's a calming force where I'm a hyper force. But the thing I love about Ruthie is her spirit and her belief in God. Like just her knowing that things may look bad or they may look bleak, but they're gonna be all right in the morning. And when you have a person on your side and you can go to war with, that's gonna have your back, that's not gonna leave you, like you'd be an idiot not to want to play with her, not to have her for a teammate and a sister. So like I'm thankful. To this day I can call on Ruthie, be like, Ruthie, I need you. She's like, what you need, C? What you need, Red? I got you. And I mean, for us to be, have that after all these years, like again, I tell everybody, I'm
Yes,
thankful for that piece of leather because that piece of leather helped me form this relationship that is a lasting relationship. So I was just thankful. And like anybody that played against her, you wanted to be her teammate. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know
You
I
wanted to
can't.
be on the same
I
side of
want
her
to cut
because
the
if you're on
truth
the
today.
opposite side,
Hey, see, you remember we swimming with the
right,
national
right,
team?
yes,
We were the blue team, and we were like, hey, we got something for them today.
yes,
And you always, I
yeah,
used to
because
see you
because
listen,
we were the blue team. I
and
was saying they
you
were the
always
blue
got some
team, right? So
crucial.
they
You
were the
played hard.
starters, right?
You always got some crucial rebounds, and I hit some big threes.
Yeah.
so
And so
she
we were
was
just like,
doing it.
okay, we about to show you.
Yeah.
So wait, before
Yes.
you go, we got
Well,
three more
listen,
real quick questions. You got Miss Dorsey right here. She wants to know what the biggest challenge was or the learning curve you had as a coach. Your biggest
the
challenge.
biggest learning curve, the biggest learning curve and the challenge is I had to stop expecting players to play as hard as I played or to work as hard. I had to learn how to meet players where they were at. When you've played with some great players that I played with, then you wanna make every kid you coach great. But every kid don't want to be great. So you got to find out what journey that kid has come from and what that kid wants. And then another thing I learned is you can't coach everybody the same way. You got
That's
to take
right.
the time to have an individual relationship with a person and understand like yelling might not do nothing for that person. Talking nice might not do for that person. You might have to cut somebody out to get them started. So you might just say, let's go get some breakfast or something. Like you might. So that was to me the biggest curve is having the expectation that everybody wanted to be great because everybody don't want to be great.
True that. True that. Speaking of greatness, you cannot leave here without giving us the certified top five. Top five players, your go-to GOAT players. Name them. And you got
Oh
one more
my
question.
God. Oh my
You can do it. You
God.
can do
Top
it.
five players.
Top
No,
five,
I
baby.
can't.
Yes,
There you
you
can
can.
see.
Put them in there. Put them in there.
Top five,
They still
top
gonna love
five
you.
players. Okay.
Top five. Come on,
So
you
wait a
know who
minute,
they are. You
like
played
of
with them.
all time,
In
like of
your
all
opinion, the
time.
top five of all time for you.
Okay, so Lisa Leslie,
Okay.
Dawn Staley.
Okay.
I see. See.
You can do
Okay,
it.
okay,
You can do
okay.
it.
So wait a
Swoops.
minute. So, so, so yeah. So this is the thing you got. Cheryl Swoops definitely right. So am I talking about my generation or just all around basketball?
Let's go.
Let's go
That's
with
a
my
fair
generation.
question.
Let's
Let's
go
go
with
your
me.
generation.
Okay, so
Okay.
I got
Okay.
you. I got Lisa Leslie, right? I got I got Teresa Edwards.
Okay.
I got Teresa Edwards. How many I got?
You just said two. That's it.
Well, see, this is the
That's all
thing.
you're saying with two.
No. I can't do five.
You can't do five.
Cause I got Ruthie, I got Cheryl, I got
I
Dawn, I
made
got
it.
Tree, I got T.
Ruthie said, "I made it."
I got you pondering.
So no. Like look, my Olympic team, minus a couple people, minus myself, maybe minus Katie, Rebecca, but everybody else, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Dawn.
let me
Hey,
ask you
Dawn didn't
this.
do it.
Oh,
Dawn didn't do it.
wait. Let me ask you this. Do you think Cheryl Miller? Actually, someone put that question up here. Cool. Who
Cheryl
wants
Miller
to
is
know? Is Cheryl
she a beast.
Miller? Do you consider her the best ever?
The best ever.
Ever?
The best when I was little. I mean, when I was in when I was in college, I did the best ever.
You want the best
See,
one?
yo,
You
yo,
just can't do it, huh?
I can't. I mean,
Because you know your phone gonna start ringing later on if you start naming.
yo. I
That's
just
what it is.
see. That's a loaded question. That's a loaded question. It's a
True.
loaded question. I just can't do a five. I can't do a best. I'm just blessed to say I've been around the best. How about that? I'm
All
just
right.
blessed to say. But
All
I
right.
gotta go. I
All
gotta
Wait,
right,
one
go.
more,
Z.
Thank you
one
guys.
last question.
I
One
gotta go.
last
I'm
Let him
13
question.
go.
minutes
Let him
late.
go.
One last question. All right. What do you think about Derek Fisher getting fired today? Okay. I guess that's it.
I mean, it's a business, right?
It's a business. You're so right.
And
But
I'm not saying it's him, but generally when you're that bad as a team, that's the first thing they go to is the coach.
yes, understood.
It's too much money and it's too much of a legacy in a program for the Sparks to look as bad as they look. And I hate that
What's the
he had
what's
to
the
be on
record?
the. I don't
Their record
terrible.
is like 3-10.
They're
3-10.
terrible, terrible.
No, they're
And the
three and
thing
eight.
is,
3-8.
you don't want anybody to get fired because messing with anybody's livelihood, but they're terrible. So you either gonna have to get rid of some players, get rid of a coach. You got to do something, and you got to do it now. So I wish Derek Fisher none but the best. He's a good guy,
Right. I
but
believe they kept
he
him
needs some
on as an
changes.
assistant coach. They kept him on as the assistant. And
What?
Fred Williams.
Where they do that at? They fire you as
Ah,
a head coach. Okay, I gotta go for real now.
Bye,
all
'Cause-
right,
Z.
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Love you. Yeah,
All
thank you
right,
so much.
all right. See y'all
I'll
later.
talk to you. Take care. So Ruthie, that's what do you think about that whole situation?
Well, I didn't realize they was that bad. To be honest, I knew they were struggling, but I didn't know the record was like that. I don't know
Three
how
and
they
eight.
did. How did they do last year?
They were just in the bottom last year as well.
Well, like I said, there was a change. Obviously, I think there was two-part to when teams struggle, coach and the
Right?
player. Who, the player. So maybe the general manager or the owner had to realize they had to do something. And I like Derek Fisher, still gonna like him, even though he got fired. He'll get another job because I think he's a good person. That's what helps him in his favor, that he's just really a good guy, and he ain't trying to be bad. I think he just maybe, for him to even stay, if they sort of demoted him, and
Hmm.
if he stays, that's sort of tell you the kind of a guy he is. He's a good
But
person.
you know what, I think it's a combination. I think they look great on paper. And then you have to question, why aren't they winning? The team looks absolutely great. You thought, coming out the gate, they were going to be extremely competitive. And then it seems like they don't have the chemistry or it's a sacrifice for players to kind of maybe not dumb down their game, but just share and really, try to find that chemistry. The coach has to find that chemistry and what works. And like I said, they look great on paper. They hadn't made the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs last year, and that was the first time since 2011, I believe, which is like unheard of. It's the history of the LA Sparks. Especially having Penny Toller there at the time, and you know how she was. She was gonna make sure. Look, we making the playoffs, and we gonna do something when we in here. So I mean, I just think it's a tough call, but he had 4 years to get it together. I think
Yeah.
it's four
Oh, he's
years.
been there 4 years. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's been there for a good minute. And then Fred Williams has been in the game for quite some
Oh, I
time.
know. So Fred, the head coach,
Yes, he's an interim head coach.
is it she or he?
Fred.
Yes, I know. I know Fred. He used to be at Utah. I know Fred.
Yes, yes, yes.
I
Yeah,
need
he
to.
was
Yeah.
with you. Weren't you out? Yeah, he was
Yeah,
with you at the
we
time.
had a conversation one time. I don't know which team, but he was talking about me helping them out, whatever. I can't remember. I think that's where he went to. I'm not sure, but no, yeah, they might be good together. Maybe they're a good combination. Good, they have four eyes to see what they need to do. So, but yeah, hey, you know what? It's like I said, Carla said it's a game, it's a business, and like I said,
Mhm.
he'll bounce back. Somebody else will get him, or he'll come to that team, and maybe this is what they need, and maybe the players wake up and say, hey, we got to roll in this too. So maybe they'll start
Yeah.
playing, and they should be hungry. I think you sort of you shouldn't have to motivate professional players to play.
Right, right. Last year they were. I know they were 12-20 in terms of their record. So to come now and be 3-8, I have someone on here. Facebook user says that they are 5-7, but from what I saw on WNBA.com, they are 3-8, which is like they're still at the bottom of the basement.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, you just don't expect that with a historically confident championship
yeah,
caliber team like the Sparks.
yeah.
And I guess, huh?
What made them get rid of what's her name, Chelsea?
Oh, and I think that's a problem too because they gave up so much when they traded Candace. Think about it. When they traded Candace, they got nothing for her.
Yeah,
And Penny talks about that a lot. You'd have somebody's whole lock, stock, and team, some
yeah,
first round draft picks or something, but they really didn't get anything in return for that trade. And
yeah.
you can't make it if you don't have some new guns that you're bringing in. Either you're bringing in a younger, stronger, quicker, faster team, or someone that is a power player.
Exactly.
You look at the LeBron situation. He's a great player, but what do you have around him? What are they going to do with LeBron in his situation? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
but
exactly. But you think about the who was the Lakers coach?
I'm sorry.
I said who's the Lakers coach?
Oh, there now, girl. I don't keep up with the men's side of the
Well, my
Lakers.
thing is that you know what, all the stars that they had on their team and as bad as they did, who to blame? The coach or some players too?
Right. It can
So
be a combination. I have a Facebook user here that says, I'll put it up so you can see it. It is saying that Fisher was fired as head coach and GM was not retained in any capacity. Okay. Thank you for that, my Facebook user, who we can't, see. Let me see Mr. Hoop here. What is he talking about? He wants to know, why are the Lynx and Mercury both 3-8? What's the deal when they have the talent?
wow. Oh, you know what? I think
It's tough.
it's tough because you know what? It's easier to get to the top than to stay. And this players teams get up when they playing those players. They know those teams are winning franchises. That
Hmm.
they're winning. So teams get up to play them, and some of the star players, sort of, maybe I don't know the cruising stage or they fatigue. It's like it's
Well, I look at it as, what's the one common denominator with the Lynx, the Mercury, and I won't say Los Angeles. But you have a new coach in place in those situations.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Mercury new coach too. Yeah, you're right.
every new coach, and to me, once again, it comes down to finding your 7 combos that you're gonna go with,
I think yeah, this
your eight
chemistry is huge.
combos,
When you got a
and
good
just
team with good players, and the chemistry and how you rotate and what you put in, I think it's
the rotation is everything. Everything. I look at what's going on with the NBA. I look at someone like Draymond Green, right? I have friends, they talk about him, they don't like him. I love Draymond Green because Draymond will do whatever it takes to win. And
yeah,
he knows that even though he might be considered an ass by some people with his tactics and his constant chick, 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 but that stuff gets under your skin. And I respect him for it because he's going to do whatever it takes to give his team an advantage. And he's trying to get in the psyche of people. I think some of these teams need to find that player and need to tell them, be that player that gets under the skin, be aggressive, be assertive, Stop trying to be, oh, so nice, nice, nice. You look at the Liberty, same situation, a new coach. They're at the bottom of the basement.
hmm
So, it takes time, absolutely. But I think at the same time, you have to recognize what's going on. So why isn't this combination working? Why isn't the chemistry working? What do we need to do? Because it's so fast. The season is too fast.
yeah. I think yeah, I think so. It's just man, it's but the Minnesota got the same coach, don't they?
What happened?
Minnesota had the same coach. They didn't have a coach change, did they?
Oh, you're right. No, they didn't. But I think they
Oh,
had some player shifts. This one Facebook user says the season is a lot of teams are regrouping. Some have become successful. Absolutely. It's going to take time. It's absolutely going to take time. But, you know, I think you do need that chemistry to really and you really don't have that much time. The season starts, it's like bam, bam, bam. You cut players, then training camp. You might have 20 something players in training camp, and you got to figure it out
yeah.
like very quickly, that type of thing. So I don't know,
I
but
think the league could definitely, as we talk quite frequently about, the league could definitely use a few more teams. A lot of players out there that want an opportunity to play and balance the league out. There's just opportunity to play and stuff. So, but but yeah, my schedule been crazy. I'm gonna start trying to watch a few more games. It's been just after this premiere over with and we get this behind us, I'll be able to watch a lot more games in the latter part of June and July.
yeah, absolutely. But you look at the top of the list, right? You have Chicago. Las Vegas is 10-2, Connecticut 9-3, Chicago 7-3. You had the big game with Washington and Chicago Sunday night. What do you think about that?
Trying to think out because of noise. What was the question?
What do you think about the game between Chicago Sky, and Washington Mystics on Sunday night?
You said they will play or they played?
No, they played. They're going to play again tomorrow, but they played on Sunday. The Mystics came on the losing side of things, but what do you think about that matchup overall?
I think I think the Chicago Sky. I think you know, they just have. You would think a team that coming off a championship. I still think that they playing with like they still got something to prove. They playing like we didn't win with a fluke. And
Mhm.
Adela Dawn, she was the Mystic, is she? Is
Yeah,
she
yeah,
still?
but you know what? On the last game, she was missing, as well as Mike Tebow. Mike Tebow is, I believe he's COVID. I think, if
Oh,
I'm
she
not
didn't play.
mistaken. But Deladon didn't play. They just wanted to give her rest. But I think with Chicago, they had such a forceful front line that there was nothing, the Mystics could really do about that situation. I mean, they scored combined, I believe it was like 33 points, 12 rebounds, no, 18 rebounds. Candace had 12 by herself, from what I understand. So, I mean, it's tough. Chicago's pretty tough. And then you have Copper coming on. She had 14, I believe. What's the other young lady? They just had it from all angles. And the Mystics did not play well. McLeod, I think she came on at the end. She had 14 points, but she can't do it by herself. I think she shot like 1 for 6, something like that. So there's a lot of little hiccups that are going on, but in essence, the season is still young, and hopefully, everybody can get a little bounce back in them and make
Yeah.
it a little more competitive and not just a runaway.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. I think. Yeah, you're right. Chicago. What that point guard is? Sloot, whatever name.
Oh
Vander.
yeah, Vandersloot.
She's has a great. She played really well. She just know her role. She loves leading the team. She's
Hmm.
she's just enough players that to me.
Yeah, yeah. And they added Emma, like Dion says here. They added Emma. What is Emma's last name? I cannot remember her last name. But she was a big catch, and she definitely made a difference on Sunday. She absolutely did. So you are correct, Mr. Hoop Page. So, just little things like that, little tweaks, and finding out who's going to really show up every game makes a big difference. It really does.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
It really
But
does.
it's good to see a lot, like to the league and a lot of teams. I think a lot of my male guy friends or male, watch it because they take their daughter and a lot of them keep asking about when the Monarchs gonna come back and so I think this is I think the league. I hope that they will, like I said, Monarchs fans in Sacramento is like they will be over just man, they can't wait to get a team. So, but
Absolutely. So we have Ebony Hood here. She says she wants to represent the W on the Philly team. I think Philly will absolutely have a team eventually. They'll probably try to persuade Dawn to leave South Carolina. That's not happening
oh no,
anytime
no,
soon.
I don't
But
think so.
Philly would be a good place to have a team.
It
It
would be
really
at this
would.
point. You're right. It would be. Basketball with Dawn and her history and what she's done. Obviously, even with somebody else coaching it. But yeah, I think Philly would be a good place for a team. And the Bay
Yeah,
Area, hopefully, they'll be getting something. I think to me, the basketball is so strong in the West. We could get a team in the Bay Area and Sacramento, they'll do well. Because
right.
those fans have been without a team for a while and they're hungry.
Or, hey, what about Texas? Houston,
Yeah, they could. I'm down. Yeah,
you
to me,
know?
I don't know what
Houston, Houston was phenomenal.
Houston was rolling. Yeah, you was like, why were you? How can you? Yeah, that was that. They definitely need a team back. So I could see 3, 4 spots, but I think they want to obviously grow. But yeah, Houston definitely. I'm like, what they did, they was a empire. Getting ready to. They had become an empire. So, um, but now it's I think it'll happen. But I think maybe Oakland may get a team. The Bay
Yeah.
Area may get a team
Well,
before
Oakland,
everybody
yeah,
else.
you're right about that. Mr. Hoops Hype here says COVID is killing the storm. I agree. I think COVID is showing up, and everyone is in some shape, form, or fashion being affected by it overall. So I think that is absolutely right. And Mr. Page wants to send some love out to Nancy Lieberman, who lost her mom. Actually, Nancy and I played high school basketball together. And when she called me last week, I was like, uh-oh, because I don't know, I just felt something. So when I did speak with her, she informed me about losing her mom. And that was over the Memorial Day weekend, actually before it. And she's doing okay. I actually called her last night to chit chat, but we're sending some love out to her, and she will be coming on the show down the line. So, definitely stay
Well,
tuned.
that's good. Yeah, I'll send my prayer. I'll shoot her a
Yeah,
message too.
send
I
your
didn't know
prayers
that.
out to her because you lose your mother or your father. I mean, it's life altering.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah, for
mean,
sure. Life.
it's life altering. You know. But that is.
Okay.
Someone else had a question I wanted to put up or a comment. Oh, who was it? Who was it? It wasn't Erica. No, that wasn't really it. But anyway, we want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. Like I said, this is not my job.
Oh, but you do a good
you know,
job. It's all good.
I'm
It's
I'm
all good.
I'm
Hey,
trying. I'm
come on.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
you're doing great.
learning. At least we started because I think last time I forgot to start the live stream.
Yeah, we
But
good.
I enjoyed being your host tonight. I hope you had a few laughs with me, that type of thing. But I do
Yeah.
appreciate it. Next week, we hope to have another special guest for you. Um, it's supposed to be somebody with an L and a W, but I'm still waiting to hear back if that's officially confirmed because they are waiting on something else. But we
Okay.
do have some great lineups for you. Don't think that we don't get your messages or your support about players that you'd love to see us have on. We are
Yeah.
on it. We call, we're waiting, especially that girl Cheryl Miller. She's a tough cookie. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
I'm,
get it.
I'm just
We'll
gonna
get it when
send
the
it.
time is right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
we'll
the
get it.
time is right, heaven knows. So we just gonna be patient and enjoy everyone that we do have coming on. And more importantly, we thank you and we love the fact that you tune in every week and appreciate your support. So
Amen.
keep checking us out and just know we're not new to this. We are true to
True to
this
this.
because we are
Certified,
certified unscripted.
unscripted.
Have a
And
great
be,
night,
hey, also
everyone.
everybody be watching watch the premiere June the 15th. And
June 15th.
we'll be on Good Morning America this Thursday morning. See you
Right.
there.
Y'all come in tomorrow night, right?
No, no, well, yeah, but yeah, we'll be on Thursday morning. Yeah.
On Thursday morning. Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you. I'll see you there.
Okay.
Have a good one. Good night,
Peace.
everybody.
Blessings.
Thanks for listening.